I mean, I guess we can just clump these last ones together. I mean, depending on. Oh, actually, no,
These
because
last two.
I mean, that's what we were going to do with the last episode, and then an hour and a half happens.
I mean, we got all our thoughts about Daddy Endeavor. So
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. Like, if nothing changes in his arc, and it's more of what we saw last episode, conversation can be shorter.
Hello, lads, laddies, and lassies. My name is Josh, and joining me, as always, kind of now, are Jam, Anthony, and Micaiah. Say hello, boys.
Hello there.
And we are doing some more My Hero Academia. This is our second episode in a row today. We are on fire, guys. I don't know if Micaiah said anything. I did not hear that.
Can you hear me? Okay, yeah.
Maybe your
So-
pitch was just too high. Actually, yeah, his pitch
I
was
think-
too high.
Wow. Okay, fascinating. My pitch was so high, my mic didn't think I was talking.
Check any glass in the vicinity. We weren't expecting to have like an hour and a half long conversation about Endeavor and his family problems, but you know, this is the Jam lads, it happens, you know, tangents. Actually, it wasn't that tangent. It's mostly on topic, I'd say, like 80%.
Ish. It was more on topic than our usual.
Yeah. Yeah. This is like 80,
It was on topic by
85%.
Jam standards.
Yeah. So
Jam entrance.
Endeavor invited Todoroki and his friends to have some nice family dinner. Bakugo and Deku kind of got in the middle of some family drama, but Deku's being a good friend, aka therapist, and Bakugo can literally care less.
Yep. Perfectly summed up.
And we had a little teaser in the end credits of like some guy coming out of prison, so it's probably going to be what the villain is going to be for this episode. So one way to find out is by watching this next coming episode. So let's do this, lads.
2, 1, go.
Whoa, what was...
Start it over.
Okay, start it over?
I clicked the wrong key.
But I think deep down you're ready to move forward with your dad.
Deku.
If you don't forgive him, that's up to you.
I mean, I don't have a dad, so you know, can't relate.
Thing is,
No, well, the fact that Deku doesn't have a dad kind of means a little... it's like one of those things like I'm taking what I have for granted.
if that's what's going on,
If Todoroki wants to see it that way. We don't know what happened to Deku's
That
dad, I think.
No, we don't. But also, both situations suck.
Yeah.
We're saying.
Well, at least with like Todoroki's decision, like thing, like he had a dad that didn't care and was awful, but he wants to care now. Deku's just, as far as he left, he's just gone.
I don't know. I would hesitate to call either one better. Ending is his name. Ooh, I like that.
What a good name for a villain.
Ending.
Yes, right? Oh, especially in a story.
Alright, but it is a missed opportunity for his arch nemesis not to be beginning.
Not the only thing a man should get to choose for himself is his ending.
Oh, yeah, he's completely insane.
So he's the Joker.
Why you
Oh no, not the brother.
Isn't it obvious?
Oh,
Endeavor, you are the one I long for.
Whoa!
Alright, I like this. I already
this
like
got
this villain.
really dark, really fast.
I love this villain already.
In his mind, our father basically killed Toya.
But what happened?
Basically,
So that's why
but not literally. So he's not actually dead.
The wording could be like,
yes, sir.
in a sense of like, it wasn't.
Thank you
Endeavor
for the meal.
didn't kill
Super
him,
delicious.
but
I mean,
Endeavor led to
glad you liked
events
Don't
that
forget you
killed
said
him.
you'd give me that tofu recipe.
Will do.
I love how Bakugo was polite in a really rude way.
He's trying to get
Only
that
Bakugo
tofu. He's trying to get the tofu.
Yes, like,
Happier that your
he
ship is
complimented her
ready for
cooking, but also he's pissed about it. You know, I really wish Uru Rafferty was there for that.
She's like flying. She's doing patrol. Ah! Falls.
Can you help me with English?
Of course.
That's so lame! Why doesn't the #1 hero have a bigger car? The brat's not happy with his free ride.
Oh,
I love the best whatever he is. Best butler, best Uber driver.
Done.
He's using the sun as a weapon?
Pull your head inside, you idiot!
Look, there! The line's on the road!
They're heroes,
Quit
so
talking! You'll bite your tongue off!
Oh, that's really cool.
You remember ending?
Hmm.
You heard me.
you remember
Your
ending.
son.
That's poetic.
Sorry, Endeavor. Please don't mess it up this time. I want you to murder me.
Damn, he's down bad.
I love him.
Crazy. Turn me into ash.
Bakugo, wish granted.
Hey, not so fast, you brat!
Hatago, wow, he was gonna kill his son.
Whoa, he's gonna kill his son. Oh, that's half of the
Dude, this is
episode
gonna be
already?
sick.
That's half of the
Holy
episode.
cow!
What?
Store up your power.
You know,
Condense it, then fight.
this fight could very much
Be
go
able to
like,
release your maximum output in one
what's her name,
flash.
Daki from Demon
Or
Slayer?
focused precision.
You can go in that kind of,
Keep
like,
practicing until
it's
you can do one
similar
of
with her
those things without
bands.
thinking about it.
But to me, you're still the maniac bastard who ruined our family. You may
Oh,
have had a
that's
change
how
of
he
heart,
died.
But you can't waltz in here and think we'll accept
Oh, maybe.
you. How disgusting can you be?
He decided to go after the villain regardless what it meant to whoever the hostage was. Probably his son.
Looks like one son's life isn't enough to make you break
Yeah.
yourself and roll.
This is such a weird power.
Yeah.
But I love it. Just, what is he controlling
Well, his-
specifically?
His character is perfect.
Oh no, his character's amazing.
Think I'd let that happen?
Bakugo saving someone.
Yeah.
I can do this.
Ah, finally using Black Whip.
Yes. And well too. Yo.
After a single week.
Oh, freeze him.
You'll live to regret this.
Oh my god.
Extras! You alive?
If you mean the nice innocent people in their car,
He called them extras.
I mean, he's not wrong.
No, he wasn't.
I want you to show me that you can capture a villain faster than I
Oh
can!
my god, Bakugo.
Suddenly the guy gets all sincere and crap. At least act a little pissed off.
As if I rescued you. Maybe you would never.
You'd never say anything to me again, even if you were angry.
And Toya, I might as well have killed him myself.
Bro, come on. There.
It'll be a cold day in hell before I ever forgive you. You got it? You see, I'm not a kind person like Shoto is.
You say that. But you still show up for your family's sake. It's okay if you don't forgive me.
Endeavor's just growing so much.
Because I don't want forgiveness. I want to atone.
Why should I have to get over my feelings when everything's your fault? So you want to atone? What the hell is there you can even do for us?
Stop it, Endeavor!
That single moment was some of the best dialogue I've seen in this show yet.
Yeah, this arc.
You're my home. Don't
This
kill
arc,
me.
man.
Your blades.
Quirk of controlling painted white lines was chemically boosted.
Is that so?
So that is all he does.
Those drugs aren't as
So,
prevalent
like,
now.
Okay.
If I painted a yellow line, could he not
You'd
control
better
that?
Be more careful, boss.
Correct.
If
You
I-
make it white and then control it.
You've been
If
targeted.
if it was a white line and then I paint it yellow, can he control it still?
Hawks. Looks like you've got sharp eyes.
Somebody's talking about me.
I hope it's Endeavor.
You Endeavor.
Oh my god!
Okay, so
Wait, there's another
There's
credit
a
scene.
lot left still.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good lord, that is a lot of after credit scene.
I'll build a new house somewhere that's in a more convenient location for the two of you. You can welcome your mother home there.
What about you?
What can I
Help
do
me.
for my family? Where do I begin? They share moments of joy.
And I really wish Todoroki did not have that scar in the dream.
Hmm.
But
If he didn't have the scar,
I'm
it
never
wouldn't
at
be
that
reality.
table.
Ooh.
Yes. If I truly care about them, I'll remain here.
He doesn't get it.
If I truly care about them,
You've missed it. No,
I'll
gosh.
stay away.
But like the main reason why he's not moving in with them is because he wants the mom to live with them too, and
Yep, she would be deeply traumatized.
yeah.
Completely right.
I mean,
But
he can keep trying.
he's-
He can do visits.
Yep.
I think he has the right idea, especially since I would say
My theory is he's not at the table because he's dead.
I don't think that's the theory. I think the theory, or I mean, I don't think that's like the idea of it. I think the idea of it is that even in his own head, he acknowledges that, like, in his subconscious, just acknowledges that him being like a happy family with him in it is just not a possibility. I think he's acknowledging that. I don't think he's dead.
The way that they're framing it, this dream is a premonition. And there is a really common trope of the hero getting a premonition and completely misunderstanding it. This feels like that kind of premonition. If he's completely misunderstanding it, he's not at the table for a different reason. If he's not at the table, the trope there is they're dead.
But you're forgetting this is Japanese television.
Japanese television has tropes too!
Opposite trope, better tropes, no?
Not better tropes, just tropes we're not nearly as used to.
Yeah.
Which makes it refreshing, which is really nice.
I think the nice thing about it is that it can be taken either way.
Yeah, for now, they're predictions, and one of the predictions will come to pass.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see which it is, but I got a really strong gut feeling about mine, and my gut tends to not
They think they're gonna die.
I think he's gonna die, yeah.
Oh, you think he's gonna die?
Mm-hmm.
I said this. I don't think I told Anthony about this, but I said it like sometime last season about like how heartbreaking it would be for either Todoroki or Endeavor to die, like in the near the future.
Yep, I remember this.
Because like
yeah,
one of the common screenwriting lessons is if you want to kill off a character before they're able to either complete their arc or resolve something or get their goal. And Endeavor's trying so hard to make his goal, which is to have his family forgive him. And then they could do like the whole heroic sacrifice thing. He sacrifices himself. Like this is, you know, like he's like, what can I do for my family? Well, like this, well, he's doing it for his family. He's also doing it for the world. And then the family can go like, well, like the family doesn't have to forgive him, but they can also go, in the end, he did what was best for everyone except for himself. But if Todoroki dies, Endeavor will never get the closure of the son that he hurt the most, unless Davi is his other son. Then I'm pretty sure that Davi is hurt more. But like, you know what I mean.
It seems that way.
But like, if Todoroki were to die, then Endeavor will never get that closure of. Because Todoroki's kind of on the fence. I could see him, maybe not forgiving him completely, but being able to acknowledge him.
He can start to move forward.
So,
forgiveness can be a process, right? And the first step in that process is going to be willing to start the process. Todoroki feels like he's willing to start the process, and he's like just taking baby steps. His other son wasn't even willing to start the process.
And neither
he
of them
might
are
be
wrong.
now, but that's not clear.
Neither of them are wrong for it either.
Yeah, it's to say someone is right or wrong for something like this is
no
weird. Yeah, just because this is an emotional thing, you do it when you're emotionally ready.
Well, like, in the CW, they do like their melodrama stuff, and like they have some really bad arcs. Nothing to like they don't have like stuff that's to this degree, but there is a point where like Iris and Barry are fighting about Nor. It's in season 5 of The Flash. I don't know if you've seen this part. But so like their daughter time travels from the future to see them.
I started that and dropped it there.
That's probably for the best. But the person that teaches her how to time travel is Thawne. And Barry just runs her back to the future and he tells her to stay there. And Iris gets mad at him. And Barry's like, what are you mad at me for? Like, it's Thawne. He's scheming something. And Iris goes like, he's on death row. He's a changed man. And I'm just like, are you...
Iris, you idiot.
I'm like, this is the man that probably killed you. He's killed
Barry's mom.
Sentenced killed you.
Put his dad in prison. Yeah.
He's done so much work. He's technically the reason why your ex-boyfriend is dead. And like,
oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And you believe that because of death row, and like she's like, why would he have a reason to manipulate our daughter? He's on death row. I'm like, that is the reason there.
Yeah.
Woman.
Yes. So okay, there's a difference between being emotionally ready and that being the reason you're either moving on or not moving on, and being an idiot. That conflict shouldn't have happened in the first place. Iris was being stupid. Yeah, this conflict should have happened, and to say whether or not they've moved on is right or wrong is like...
I'm not saying that they've moved on. I'm saying, like, saying someone's right or wrong in a situation like that. I'm just, like... Just Iris is in the wrong, but yet they frame her in the right because of the CW. This one, it's like, in this situation, there is no right or wrong. Like, both, like, Todoroki, his brother, and his sister, they're all valid.
Yeah, this recognizes that it isn't, their moving on isn't really a moral question, it's just an emotional one. Mm-hmm. It's just a relational one. And in that case, that was stupid and shouldn't have... Okay, the morality is attached to the thing that went wrong in the first place, right? The actual mistakes that were made there, not necessarily when you're moving on or when you're forgiving or anything like that. Iris's thing shouldn't have happened in the first place, which is why it was stupid and wrong. This happened. They're framing it as completely wrong, as they should. And now the reason they can be laissez-faire with everyone's emotional progress is they're recognizing everyone is on their own emotional journey here. And wherever step you're at, that's just where you are, and you have to move at the pace you can move at. And that's just emotionally healthy. And that's just the best way to handle it. Like, this is very different. Very different.
I just brought up the CW because like there's other examples from the CW I can bring up, but you just need context, and I don't really care to bring up the context.
Fair, very fair. Because the context would probably give me a headache.
Yeah, for anyone that does watch the CW, I'm specifically thinking of Felicity when she was paralyzed, and then she dumps Oliver, and as a statement, she literally gets like her legs work again, and she just leaves. Yeah, like
her legs just work again.
Because like they've been experimenting with a chip, because like her spine broke, so they were experimenting with a chip that would reconnect her spine. But like it hadn't been working until literally she's like, "I'm done, Oliver." She puts the ring down, and she literally gets up and leaves. It was so funny.
Oh my gosh!
But like the context for that, I hate that scene so much because like, it's yet again like they're trying to frame Felicity in the right, but like they just completely void whatever Oliver was going through. I'm just like,
ow! She got up. Wow!
It was so funny.
I'm just like, wow! What? Oh my gosh, guys!
The CW has burned me so many times.
Dude, just let the CW go. Like, stop watching anything from them. There's no point.
The only thing I'm watching from it is Superman and Lois, and that's because it's like a semi-joint project with HBO Max, and that's actually good. So
Okay.
so far it's good.
Yeah.
But like,
Wait until friggin' CW steps in.
I mean, well, since CW's been sold, I assume it's just going to go to HBO Max.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm turning off my face cam because we don't need it anymore.
Fair enough.
Anyways, we should probably get back on topic. Anthony,
Yeah.
are you still with us?
Oh, Epic?
That's a no.
That's a no. It's probably
Cool.
like got a phone
Okay.
call.
I am here.
Oh, I was
Sorry.
gonna say.
Oh,
actually,
hey, there he is.
Anthony kind of got
Okay,
like
yeah.
what his joke, like Anthony's joke, it kind of came true. Of like
What?
build a separate house, build a house away from them. Like,
Oh, yeah, kind of,
like
in a weird way.
Endeavor's paying for it, you know. He's like, Endeavor's supplying them with a house, and I think it's the best move for right now.
Yeah.
I
No,
think
yeah.
the best way for them to move forward, especially like for that happy family to come true, it would be like to get the mom started living, like coming
Yes.
back to the real world.
Yeah.
And then when maybe after a few years, after she's gotten out of the whole, all right, I'm back in the real world, I'm no longer in the hospital, then maybe Endeavor can start coming back into the picture, like with visits or something like that. But it's never going to be a normal family.
No, yeah, totally. Yeah.
They're just too cold to each other.
But
Mhm. Yeah, for now.
Cold
I'm curious to
each
see where
other.
the older brother goes from here.
the older brother is going to be an interesting.
We heard
Cold
that, Anthony.
to each other.
We heard that, Anthony.
I did the badoomch.
Cold to
Oh,
each
that
other.
didn't come through.
Oh, badoomch.
There we go.
Cold to each other. Cold to each other.
But no, like
Um,
the maturity that they're dealing with this arc with, it's just, I love it so
yeah,
much. Like,
right.
this is probably, I mean, you don't really see it. Like, you don't see something like this, I don't think, done too much on TV, because it's just really
No.
hard to do it. And I feel most
Yes.
times, if they try and do something like this, they kind of, like, smooth it over. Usually, whoever, like, did something bad in the past ends up dying to redeem themselves. And then everyone's like, oh my god, he was a hero all along. This one, like, even if Endeavor dies, like, let's say next season, they've put in the work for me not to be like, okay, they did the cheap. I wouldn't feel like it's cheap. I would feel like they put in the work
No.
here.
Yes, they've put in the time for sure. And the audience can see it. The audience is really rewarded by it for sure. Yeah. I'm thinking every story needs a resolution. And the conflict here isn't Endeavor is a jerk. Well, okay, the conflict used to be Endeavor is a total jerk who has ruined the lives of his family. Now it's, crap, Endeavor realized he's a jerk and he's trying to repair those relationships and actually care for his family, and they don't want him to. Or at least they're not sure how to. That's the new conflict is, wait, the relationships are broken and we can't fix them. Well, the resolution to that problem is the relationships are restored. And the way you kind of restore that is through forgiveness, is through repairing broken relationships and broken hearts and all that. Which is why I'm thinking him moving away isn't a good move, because that's not restoring anything. That's not resolving the conflict at hand. And that's actually just neglecting his family again. And his son is probably going to throw that in his face later on down the road because, well, that it's just too poetic not to.
Yeah.
And if the problem is you neglected us and you ran from your problems, dude, this is a problem. You don't know how to fix it. You are trying to. He's making a really good effort. He genuinely really does care for his family now. But this is also running from his problems still.
But it's
So this isn't
Okay, so go ahead, finish your thought.
space for his wife as she's recovering. Yeah, sure, that's smart. But staying completely out of the lives of his family, not being at the table, I don't think that's a good move.
Yeah, you're right. But it is a lose-lose situation because, you know, if
It's a lose-hard situation.
because if he
It'll
goes,
be hard for him
if
to
he-
step back in.
Well, no, like it will. Like, either way, it's going to be hard for him to step back in. But if the wife just gets discharged from the hospital and then like she literally moves back in with Endeavor. Like you don't know what's gonna happen.
Nope.
With her
You
mentally.
do not.
So
I'm not saying that's the solution.
yeah, no, like it's like
Not even
it's a
close. That's a
lose-lose.
terrible
Like,
idea.
as long as the wife is in the picture of living with the family, he can't be there. Like that's
so
the
here's what I'm
mature
thinking
thing
about.
for him to do. But
There
with
is
him
a
not being
big
there,
difference. Yeah, there's a big difference between him giving them space and her enough time to recover well, and sort of gradually trying to feel that and move on from that with them, or him completely just saying, "You guys can't do this with me. I don't see a way to solve this, so I'm going to run from this." His current solution is no contact whatsoever, no rebuilding whatsoever. I'm saying take a long, friggin' hard road and give space for a while and still try and rebuild what you can. That's hard. But I think it's got to be at least attempted before he can completely move on like that.
I get what you're saying now. I'm seeing how they're writing this. If this does go like long term, they don't kill Endeavor off. I can see them.
Mm-hmm.
I can see Endeavor in the future realizing that keeping because this is like what his thought process is now. He could very easily learn. Oh, maybe I shouldn't be doing this, or maybe like his daughter keeps trying to bring him in. Like maybe he's trying to distance himself, but his daughter's the one that keeps trying to connect with him, and then like she helps him realize that ignoring them again isn't what I should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
I should be like what you're saying. I should be trying to get back in, like not completely act like nothing's wrong, but I should be taking those steps. So
you know what they're going to do is he's going to have that realization, and then they're going to kill him off immediately.
Dang.
Yeah, that's the path.
Or they kill off the whole family.
Slightly random. You cut out the video, Josh.
Todoroki's story just got so much darker when it was already really dark.
Never mind, I'll mention it later.
We'll wrap this up.
Sorry, Anthony. What were you saying? Oh, well,
because he said
it's not related to the video, so.
Write it down and then we'll talk about it when it's.
It's more like our life kind of situation, not necessarily in video or for the video.
Okay.
I'll tell you this.
Anyways.
I feel I've kind of like I love this villain. Like stepping away from the Todoroki family and going into some of the episodes. This villain, man, he could have totally carried an arc.
Oh, easily. Yes. Are you kidding me? I mean, how many motives or how many villains do you see with the motive of I want you to kill me specifically? Joker, and that's about it. And Joker is just pure chaos. He's supposed to like barely have any motive whatsoever. His only motive isn't actually to die; it's to have Batman fall any way possible. This dude literally just wants Endeavor to kill him.
It's so simple. I think the voice actor and the way that he's written too, really, because I guess he could come off bland with it, but the way that this guy was written,
some of the animations too,
and the animations, like the way his body moves, it's just like so. He's never completely still. He's like his exaggerated face.
Yes, his exaggerated face, the way his head will tilt.
Oh my god! Yeah, the way
slightly to the
he'll
side.
just be talking. He's like, I love it.
You know where they stole that from was Mark Hamill, or not Mark Hamill, the Joker, Heath Ledger.
I know how I got these scars. Yeah, you're right. He does tilt his head quite a bit.
It's the head. It's like the lip smacking, all that for Heath Ledger's Joker. The head tilt though, like gives you that just sort of off balance feel, and it's like, oh, seeing you physically off balance makes me think you're emotionally off balance too, and it's like, oh, it works so well. It's brilliant.
I really. Oh yeah.
I said brilliant.
Brilliant. I am so curious as to what happened to the older brother, because the villain, the villain said something like one son isn't or wasn't enough, or is one son isn't enough for you to kill me, and I'm like, I guess that could be interpreted in the present, but I interpreted that as like, what did you do to Endeavor's son? Like,
Yes, exactly.
but the way
Yeah,
that Endeavor fought him, it didn't seem like there was vengeance in his.
No, it
Yeah.
didn't. But the way he froze.
Yeah, the way he froze, like, I'm assuming something happened with a villain and his son, maybe a very similar reaction. But the way that the villain specifically said, like, one son isn't enough, it made me think, like, is this the guy that killed Toya, or whatever the kid's name was? But, like, the way that Endeavor acted didn't really seem rageful.
Yeah, I feel like if he killed his son, I feel like he would have been even more angry, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he would have been like already livid. Like, he would have been like even panicking because he's like the same guy who killed my last son. You know, I can't let this happen again.
What was up with that line? If I saved you, I wouldn't, or I was worried you would never speak to me again instead of yelling. That's a whack paraphrase, but
It's because, shoot, his son says something. Natsuo says something. And I guess maybe Endeavor interpreted it as, because Natsu said, like, I'll never forgive you no matter what you do, all that. And then I think Endeavor might have taken that the wrong way, in the sense of, like, oh, if I save him, he might just be thinking, like, I haven't changed. I'm literally just doing what he told me to do. Like, what's the word for it? It's like, if you said you would never forgive me because I'm, like, selfish or something, and then I try and just be selfless, like, only around you. Like, you're like, oh, of course you haven't changed at all. You're just doing what I told you you're just doing what I told you to fix about yourself around me. Maybe he took it that way?
that doesn't sound right.
I'm just gonna...
I'm not sure.
The timestamp is 1533.
I don't think the answer is in this episode.
Yeah,
I think we need more context.
Just trying to... if I rescued you, you would never...
While you're looking for timestamps, though, you should also skip to the bit immediately after. No, that was that bit, actually. That was the bit with the amazing dialogue. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Good lord, that dialogue was good.
This whole scene is... like, it's... like, all of the complexity is there, and it's handled so perfectly.
It really is. Man. What was the son's line again?
You never meant to neglect us. It doesn't matter. All I remember is feeling abandoned, like Toya said. It'll be a cold day in hell before I can ever forgive you. And give it
Maybe it was a little before that.
And then... I'm not a kind of... I think it's a little bit after this that you're talking about. Man, it's the thing, though, that, like, is really hard is that the son is smiling when he says this.
Mm-hmm.
I love how they frame this family.
Yeah, man. Every member of the family is their own unique character. They are serving purposes, but they are also, like, genuine characters that have genuine emotions that you genuinely feel for. And it just, like, it adds so much complexity and so much richness to everything that's happening. There are layers and layers and layers. Layers are hard to write. You kind of don't invent layers, you stumble across them. Like, I did this. Wait a minute, I also did this. Ooh, these interact in a really cool way. It's like, man.
Was the line that you were talking about, I don't want your forgiveness, I want to atone?
Ooh, yeah, I did want to talk about that. I don't think that was the line I was thinking of with the sun. I think it was just after that with the sun. But I really want to.
Yeah, I'm almost done with this. I'm almost done with this scene. But what can you even do for us? I don't know. I don't know anything if the son... this scene, I didn't find anything that stuck out to me as the son's talk. Like, the son but like that for like that atonement line.
Yep.
It's perfectly like it is what I'm talking about when I say like they don't make it like I love it that they don't make it easy because like I feel like like in some shows they get lazy and like oh my god he was a good person because he sacrificed himself for all of us and I forgive him it's like it's that kind of cheesy stuff but this one like Endeavor doesn't even want forgiveness because he knows he doesn't deserve it and I love that he knows that. I just love that he wants to atone for his mistakes.
Yes. He wants to make things right for his family. He wants his family to be in a right place. That's a completely different kind of feeling. That is how you know he genuinely loves his family now. I'm low-key curious what Japanese word they translated as atone because we did not use that language in English very often. That's straight up biblical language. Actually, yeah, that's the only place it could possibly come from is the Bible. Wow, yeah, what the heck?
Yeah,
So, like...
I guess we don't really use the word atone too often.
No, never. If you see it in literature, it's usually a reference to the Bible.
I will purposely write that word in my book. No.
Yeah, be like, why the heck did you put this here? This doesn't make sense. But like our idea is just I need to make things right, which comes from the Bible. But like it's like, oh man, that's powerful language. I'm sure it's powerful language in Japanese too, otherwise they wouldn't translate it that way. But it's just that idea of I want to sacrifice anything I have to make sure you guys are in a better spot. To undo the damage that I've done. I have hurt you guys. I don't want you to be hurt anymore. I don't need your forgiveness. I just want you to be okay. Woo! That's a hard thing. That's a hard lesson to learn. That's a hard thing to write. That's a nuanced thing to write, which makes it even harder.
Obviously.
Powerful.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, obviously not every bit of Japanese culture is like this, but I mean, for like a difference between, I guess, like Western European-esque cultures versus like Asian culture is that there's like a sort of motif of how people view themselves and like sort of like the baseline, sort of like what they gotta do in life and all that, like essentially uphold.
Oh yeah,
for like Western culture, it's kind of like doing the right thing and what making right of what's wrong, Well, like in Asian countries, it's more about your honor, image of how you carry yourself and stuff like that, So it's interesting that
honor,
this,
shame versus guilt, innocence. Yeah,
how like in a way he's kind of dropping all of his honor and sort of like ego and sort of like pride to be like, I just want to make things right.
And like he's saying that he's dropping his honor and ego and all that. He's doing this in the street. Like he's kept his family drama private, like obviously, like you don't want to be a hero and like have this like would be a huge scandal. Well, it'd be even worse than a scandal, but you know what I mean. But the fact that he's not even worried about like if anyone is listening in on this speaks volumes to where Endeavor's at as a person right now.
Yeah. To let go of honor and shame and to just want to do the right thing is radically countercultural for an honor shame culture. Like that is insane. And Anthony, it was really insightful that you mentioned that because that's exactly what he's doing right now. Yeah,
and it's just kind of like, oh, interesting, because like, I mean, I guess I can describe his character as mostly he's very prideful, wanting to do this, wanting to do that for the sake of like, being number one, being on top, Yeah. And it's kind of like, is this maybe like a critique on the whole honor culture thing? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, anyone can really say, like, which one is more. I mean, obviously, as someone of the Western culture and stuff, all that, I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, I think doing the right thing in the end is always most important, rather than like the societal correct thing, And the right thing in the end isn't always
the right thing versus the correct thing. That's a good way to put it.
Like, the correct thing is always, like, standard. It's what it's expected, what's initial, like initial option. But the right thing's something kind of just do in the moment. Like, it isn't really clear sometimes until like you know when you know what is the right thing.
Yeah, no,
and
exactly.
And like this man, like, I mean, maybe people say it's almost dishonorable to drop his image and kind of like do certain things like this just for the sake of it, because might be like, oh well, they won't accept you this, you know, blah blah blah, you know, like you won't get results because this and that, you know. It's like, and he doesn't even care if it doesn't. He just wants them. He wants these with the effort to try to make it right. You know.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I love about Endeavor is that the effort is being shown so much.
I just realized his name. He's literally going on an endeavor.
He's going on an endeavor for himself
Holy
and
cow,
his
you're
family.
totally right. Yeah.
It was always there, right in our faces.
Yeah.
And all my name. Oh god, I just realized all their names probably have like some sort of meaning of their character arcs and all that.
Yeah, that's.
All Might
Deku's
could
name
be.
means idiot. What the heck does that mean?
No, Deku's name. I love Deku's name because it was Bakugo's insult to him. That was like that. This is too far. That was Bakugo's N-word to Deku. Yeah, because like
You dirty Deku.
because they explained it in the first episode. I forgot what. I think Deku literally translates to useless. I don't think it's idiot. Well, like I think.
Yeah.
I think it has multiple translations, but one of them is useless, and I think that's what the show was trying to say. It's because Deku's part of the 20% that's quirkless. So Bakugo's like, oh, you're useless. You're nothing. You will always be nothing. And Deku took that name and literally punched Bakugo in the face with it.
Yeah.
My hero name's Deku.
Oh, that's what it is. He was called Deku because he was a part of the original 20%. It's a harkening back to his origins, reminding us that he didn't have any powers and still became the greatest hero ever because of his heart.
Mm-hmm.
It's character over ability. Kind of like what we talked about earlier that we didn't record with the conversation about Death Note. And like, ability reflects your character. He didn't have any ability, he just had character. The name Useless reminds us of that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was gonna say,
That
I think I
makes
just
sense.
realized, I think before, you know, whole society kind of built around having number one hero being All Might. I realized his name is All Might, which could be referring to Almighty, which is kind of like, Mukai, you probably should take it.
Mhm.
You probably describe what Almighty means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a Jesus reference there. Yes, definitely. He is their savior. Like literally, he's a superhero. He is their savior. He is the one that they look up to. He is the one that they admire, the one that every single other character has based their lives upon. Yes, that is very deliberate.
God damn it! Now I gotta go through every
Very
character and like understand why their name is that way, not just in universe, but for like a story wise, for you know.
Totoro,
So-
icy hot. It tells us everything we need to know.
He's hot and cold.
Wow, so
interesting.
poetic.
Here's an interesting one: Eraserhead.
He wants to race his
There's
past.
no way Eraserhead is.
You won't understand that now, but that's all I'm gonna say.
Well, okay, we already actually have an origin story for Eraserhead's name. I don't know if we're gonna get a retcon.
We do, but the origin is different than the purpose the author has given us.
Yeah. I just love like teenage present Mike and Razor. I got it. You look at
Yes.
people and you erase their quirks. Eraserhead.
Eraserhead!
Whatever.
And it stuck.
Oh,
That was
isn't
the worst mistake he ever made.
I never came up with another name. I've regretted it since. Honestly, for Eraserhead, I literally do not need any more context.
No. There's a purpose for sure, but we don't need any more. Yeah.
Bakugo, speaking of names, Bakugo also said that he has a name in mind. So,
Yeah. And he wants to run it by Endeavor.
no, he said he wants to run it by someone first, not specifically.
And then the camera panned over to Endeavor. Him looking
Oh,
at
look.
Endeavor.
Oh. Now, I was thinking All Might, but it would be
He was
interesting.
looking pretty hard at Endeavor.
No, but it would be interesting if it was Endeavor. I'm not saying it can't be Endeavor, but I would.
If you go back to that clip, it looks pretty clear like it's Endeavor.
I'm just like zooming through right now.
Well, at least we know he won't die until Bakugo tells him his name.
Honestly, you can't tell what direction Bakugo's eyes are looking at because they're whited out. No, but like it would be interesting if he went to Endeavor for his like for help on his hero name, because that would be Bakugo finally branching out from someone other than All Might, because All Might's the one that he looked up to. He's the reason why Bakugo's here. So it'd be interesting, like he's growing further from that willingly, willingly. I mean, Best Jeanist kind of kidnapped him.
Yeah, a little bit. Best Jeanist was like the best thing that ever happened to him, and then he died.
He's actually alive.
Wait, that's right. He's alive somehow. We don't know how, but he is.
This show can kill off people so brutally, and then they just won't sometimes.
And then they just don't, and it makes no sense. Yeah. So yeah, when Bakugo gets his name, it's almost like them getting their legitimate hero name is like, that's when you've known them as a character. Deku, we've had him since the beginning, of course. Makes total sense. All Might, we've had him since the beginning. Endeavor, we're learning why now. Bakugo, when Bakugo gets his, we're going to learn a lot about him.
It does make me wonder, like, how much... Because I've always thought about this, and we'll talk about more of this when we start watching Attack on Titan. But I always, like, sometimes I just think, like, how far did the writer plan ahead? Was Endeavor just an extremely happy coincidence? Like,
I don't know.
in the sense
So
of
in
his
some
hero
cultures,
name.
yeah, in some cultures, names carry a lot of meaning. In English, we tend to just go like Bill. That's it. It's just a name.
William equals
But then,
Bill.
like, yeah, well, yeah. But then you look at other languages. I know Japanese is actually one of them. I just can't give you any. The best example I can give is actually literally my name.
Oh, all right.
My name means "who is like God" in Hebrew.
Oh, okay.
It's worship. It's also a bit of a challenge. And the story behind my name is this one random dude. He only never shows up once and completely disappears. But the king wants to go to war. It's a bad idea. But actually, God wants to use this bad idea for something big. So he wants him to go to war. The king gets several hundred prophets together. And they all tell him, do it. Yeah, this will be great. And then Micaiah comes along. And Micaiah has actually seen something else from God. And he's the one who's saying, like, he's giving him the opportunity to recognize that this is a terrible idea and he shouldn't do it. And the king says, screw you, I'm throwing you in jail until I return from this war. Well, he dies in the war just like Micaiah said. And the reason my parents named me that was because they knew I would grow up in the church, and they wanted me to be okay with saying something something biblical, saying something from God, if it meant I was disagreeing with everyone around me. There's purpose in my name. There's purpose in a lot of biblical names, and a lot of Japanese names too. So I wouldn't be surprised if this was not a coincidence whatsoever.
Yeah, first of all, your parents really did think about that. Like,
they thought real hard about it. Yes.
Just wow. That's what I gotta say about that one. Yeah, like as a hopefully professional writer myself one day soon. Just like sometimes like I'll be writing, and like with me, I already got like I've got the whole thing drafted. I don't have everything like to the minuscule detail. But yes, I know exactly what. But I've got the whole like storyline in my head where everything's gonna go. But sometimes when I'm writing, I'll just be thinking, and then I add retroactively. I'll add something here, and in my head, I'm like, this is the domino effect that gets to this point. It's already like this point is already there, but as I'm writing, like this fits perfectly in there.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean. It's like the, ooh, wait, I just found something really cool. Ooh, it leads to another idea and another idea. And there's like a chain reaction of creativity that happens in college. It's like so fun. It's so cool.
So I'm just thinking like people that have written their stories like My Hero Academia, like Attack on Titan. I'm just, at what point did they stop coming up with the ideas, or are they still coming up with them as it's ongoing? Especially, like, we will be talking about this so much in Attack on Titan. There is just some things where I'm thinking, how far did they plan ahead on this?
Dang.
And this one too, just the name Endeavor, it fits so perfectly that it doesn't feel like it's a coincidence. But I could totally see it being a completely happy accident. as someone who's been in that position of, oh, okay, so, you know, I'm writing this character, okay, he's going through this, man, he's really going through a journey. Oh my god, I named him Endeavor, it's perfect! Like, I don't have to go back and change anything! Oh my god.
But then, like, All Might, Endeavor, Deku. Those are three really significant characters whose names are really on the nose with their character.
I'm just, like, with All Might and Deku, those ones have to be planned out, because those are, like, the names that you know throughout. Like, they're the people that you're following through the entire series. So those ones you have to plan out their significance. Endeavor didn't really get significant until Season 3. He was more of a background character for Todoroki, or he was a supporting character for Todoroki. He became his own character kind of in Season 4, which, it's a lot.
Oh yeah, huh?
That's a lot.
Yeah, that is.
I can totally see it going either way of it going, yeah, I'm naming him Endeavor, and he's going to be going through a journey, it's going to be so poetic, or just, man, he's going through a really personal journey. His personal one, oh my god, I'm such a genius! I can see it going either way.
Yeah. I think we should keep watching and find out.
I think
Because
so
the more
too.
names we get, the more we're going to learn about this. This is going to be fun.
So lads, if you enjoyed this conversation, you should hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell so you're notified of every time we post My Hero Academia. Every Thursday, come over here around 8 o'clock California time, and you can watch our newest reactions to My Hero Academia. We are almost done with this season, I think 6 to 7 more episodes. And
5 seasons. We even realized the names had meanings.
I mean, I've always known Deku's name had a meaning. I've always loved Deku's name. But
Well, I mean, everyone's name.
everyone's name.
Theoretically.
Icy Hot is the most
Everyone's
important one, of course.
That, yes, very important. Who the heck knows, actually? You say that as a joke, and it's like, oh, never mind. Yeah.
So leave down in the comments below, what did you think of this episode? What do you think of our conversation? If they are non-spoilery, go ahead, and if there's any characters whose names have super significant meaning, or like a double meaning or anything, as long as it's not a spoiler in the manga, you can go ahead and leave those comments down below and tell us, and we'll read them. We'll discuss them, probably off camera, but we will discuss them. We do talk about your comments, since these are very pre-recorded.
We do?
Makai and I do.
I can't.
guys
Wait,
do?
y'all shouldn't do.
Somebody does.
Somebody does. Sora, Armand
Yeah.
Sora.
Is Sora or Mod now? Okay, fair enough.
For the streams, kind of.
For the streams. Speaking of Sora, I might as well shout him out. It's gonna be, this is like way too long. He'll forget about it, but he does have a YouTube channel of his own, so you can check out in the description down below Sora's YouTube channel. He purely just talks about anime, so if you ever need any recommendations, check out his channel. Easy recommendations just right there for you. Yeah, I'm just excited to get into the next episode, really, so let's just do, well, for you, that's next week. Unless you go to our Patreon, where you can watch the rest of the season right now.
We, meanwhile, will be time traveling to next week.
Yes, we will.
Buddy, now we're